In the Impact segment tonight, the state-federal showdown over pot legalization. This week, the New Hampshire House of Representatives, they have one there, became the first legislative body to approve legalizing recreational marijuana. The bill has little chance of becoming law in the Granite State because Governor Maggie Hassan, a Democrat, has promised to veto it. But there are movements in many states to legalize, and of course, voters in Colorado and Washington State did just that in 2012. But the feds want to kill that buzz. Earlier this week, James Capra, the chief of operations for the Drug Enforcement Administration, said this.
Going down the path to legalization in this country is reckless and irresponsible. I'm talking about the long-term impact of legalization in the United States. It scares us. The treatment people are afraid. The education people are afraid. Law enforcement is worried what is going to happen. In every part of the world where this experiment has been tried, it has failed time and time again.
I don't think he's being sincere. Joining me now to analyze the situation, Gavin McInnes. He's the founder of the legendary Vice magazine and all-around roustabout. And from Las Vegas, radio talk show host and Fox News contributor Mike Gallagher. I go to Gavin first simply because he's an expert on Vice. What is your take on the legalization question? Is James Capra's fear legitimate? Is pot that dangerous that you must keep it illegal?
Well, when he's talking, you're thinking, okay, what's the worst-case scenario? Will there be 1.3 million people arrested in 1 year? Will it cost us $1 trillion? We're in the worst-case scenario. It couldn't possibly get worse. And I think the problem with the anti-legalization crowd is they say pot is bad, ergo, it should be legal. Pot is bad. It does kill your ambition. It is way too strong these days. It's turned into LSD. It's almost a hard drug. But that doesn't mean it shouldn't be legalized. We have too much faith in the system. The system as it works now is not working. It would be cheaper, there'd be less people incarcerated, and we would be a much more efficient country without it. And he said it hasn't worked anywhere in the world. In Spain and Portugal, it's been a huge success. Okay.
Mike, what do you say to that? I mean, Gavin admits pot is bad in many ways, right, but banning it makes it worse.
Well, here comes the balding, fat, middle-aged conservative who's with a couple of fun, hip guys who I'm going to throw a wet blanket and say, I agree with the guy that says we shouldn't legalize marijuana. Look, most of the arguments, both for and against, are anecdotal. You know, anecdotally, people want to smoke pot because they don't think it's so harmful. Anecdotally, people like me think it's dreadful for a culture. We've had personal experiences with loved ones, people close to me who have been in the throes of addiction. And it's not funny, it's not fun, it's horrific. Here's the bottom line for me, Greg. Is our country bettered when we legalize yet another mind-altering substance? That's all. And I don't think, I can't believe that grown adults can't all agree it's not good to make legal yet one more mind-altering substance in our country. It's that simple. I understand there are people who probably can handle it, and there's a great argument against it being a gateway drug. I happen to believe with all of my heart it is a gateway drug because I don't know of one hardened drug addict, heroin, crack cocaine, meth, whatever, that didn't start on marijuana. Come on, we all know that people who get high are looking for a bigger high.
But Mike, that's not science or statistics to claim that you know people. You actually have to do the research, and the gateway drug research isn't that strong. It's not. People use personal anecdotes to justify their side, and that's the problem for both sides, I think, not just for your side. Gavin, okay, I believe that both sides lie. The people who want to ban it claim that it's the end of the world if you legalize it. But the legalizers say it's no big deal. They're both wrong, correct?
Well, they do themselves a huge disservice by lying about pot and saying, oh, it's great for pain.
It's not. I mean, it might be. It is.
And go get a tattoo and get back to me. It makes it feel like someone's murdering you with a tiny chainsaw. It is brutal.
Yeah.
And it helps you. It's the only thing that helps me sleep, really. Xanax, sleeping pills didn't help you sleep. So they call it cannabis, and they pretend it has all these medicinal purposes, and that's a lie, and it's a propaganda scam to get it through.
There are, for some, people that go through pain with cancer who cannot tolerate certain drugs. It's good. Well, yes, Mike.
But who on my side is lying? I'm not saying it's the end of the world. I'm just asking you guys, do you think society is bettered to legalize yet one more mind-altering substance?
I don't think it can get worse, is
Mike,
what I'm saying.
Can I ask you something? Have you ever smoked pot?
I have. Listen, I've gotten drunk before. I've smoked pot. It's as bad as it gets because I'm a pretty boring guy. But again, the bottom line is, you guys, I think you would both agree, and Gavin, you're so right about the big lie about medical marijuana. Aren't you suspicious of people who advocate for the legalization of marijuana when they lie about the medicinal benefits
I'll tell you what
of
I'm
marijuana?
suspicious of. I'm suspicious of the authorities. I'm suspicious of the state. I don't impart all this wisdom to them. I don't trust them to monitor my life. Look at the DMV. Go renew your license if you think these people are so qualified. We can handle our own vices. We can handle our own cigarettes, our own whiskey, our own pot.
It's a good argument. It's the strict libertarian position. You ought to say the same thing about crack cocaine or meth or heroin.
Yes,
that should be legal as well.
Yes.
And I get that argument. And I respect that argument because I do understand it from a libertarian point of view. I just go back to let's not advocate for things that we know aren't helping or better our society. There's nothing good about legalizing another mind-altering.
But there's nothing
substance.
good about Mike. There's nothing good about banning it. We are actually these arrests, these pot arrests, are killing career prospects for so many kids who are basically nonviolent, who got high. Gavin and I, we've talked about this before. Pot does kill ambition for a lot of people in their 20s, but potheads don't kill people. And I think that at a certain point, going to prison is not the answer for this. And you say legalization won't help, but putting people in jail makes it worse.
And what percentage of criminals are in jail with drug-related causes, from fighting someone who's on their turf to shooting someone to get into the gang's hierarchy? We would kill the whole structure.
Yeah.
You got to have a moral compass, guys. Right is right, wrong is wrong.
Well, I don't trust the state with morality.
There you go.
There you go. That makes you okay.
All right. Mike, thank you. Gavin, thank you. Up next.